The last step we need to take before we can truly begin is to set up the project folder for 3ds Max. The project folder is a series of subfolders to store different types of assets, such as scenes or bitmap images. And whether or not you have the exercise files that I provided with this course, it is a requirement of 3ds Max to use project folders on some level. If you just drop your files anywhere, then it's going to be very difficult for you to keep the links between those dependent files straight, and you may end up with missing textures and stuff like that. So you don't want that to happen. If you don't have the exercise files, then you'll want to create a project folder for this course. And that's done from the File menu, Project, and within here we can see what the current project is. The default project is inside the current user's Documents 3ds Max. I'm going to create a default project. That means it's going to have the default folders such as scenes and scene assets. If you wanted to create your own, then you could use these other options here if you have some other pipeline or workflow at your studio. But for most people, you're just going to create a default project folder structure. And I'm taken to my current project, which is, once again, in the current user Documents 3ds Max. I'll just scroll up here to the desktop, and there are the exercise files for the course. I'm going to create a new folder in here that's going to be a blank, empty project. So right-click and choose New, Folder, and we'll call it Essentials, or something like that. Press Enter, and then with that folder selected, we click Select Folder. And now 3ds Max has created all of the subfolders, and it is now pointing at that project. Let's investigate. I'll minimize 3ds Max. And here are the exercise files. And right next to that are the essentials. That's the new project that I just created. And it's empty currently. If we go into scenes, there's nothing there. So this is the process if you want to create a new project. If you want to load an existing project or set to an existing project, then there's a similar command for that. I'll go back to 3ds Max, into File, Project, Set Active Project. And then we want to select the root of that project. So here it is, Exercise Files, and click Select Folder. And now that is the root or point of reference for all of the dependent links inside that project folder. So that's our new home base. And if I go to the File menu now and choose to open a file, I should be taken directly to my current project, which indeed I have been. It's on the desktop. The project root is called Exercise Files, and we're taken to the Scenes folder. And here are all the scenes for the course. All right, so I've set up my projects. One last thing to mention, if you open a scene file that's in a different project, then 3ds Max will automatically set your project. So if you just navigate to some other scene file inside some other project, then 3ds Max will automatically make that the current project. And that's a new behavior in 3ds Max 2019, but it's a helpful one because it prevents you from having to remember to set the project manual each time. That's how to create a new project folder structure or point to an existing project. And that concludes our chapter on getting started.